Hello.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Really good, really good.
Awesome. Well, welcome. My name is Kia Henley, and I'm with Hollywood Melanin, and we are so excited to have an opportunity to have conversation with you today.
I'm happy to be here. I love the name Hollywood Melanin. I think
Oh
that's
my
great.
goodness. So much. So I always start my interviews with, it's been a pandemic, right? So how are you doing? How is Holly Robinson Peete doing?
In this moment, doing pretty good. Just happy to be, I've been able to work during the pandemic, have some content and shows to promote. That's really cool. But it's been a trip. It's been seasonal, right? So at the beginning, it kind of was a little whimsical where we're all at home with the four kids and the dogs, and we were baking and playing board games, and it felt like this like Americana moment. And then that got old real quick. And then probably around May or June, we were like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. Tell that dog to go somewhere. What we did not want to be. And then we all got back up again, like, okay, let's start working on our health and wellness and let's read and let's use this time. So it just depends. It was just like hills and peaks and valleys. But now that I think we're coming towards the end, or we're starting to see the light. It's really helped me reevaluate life, just really look at things differently. My priorities are different. My goals have shifted.
Hmm?
But I'm doing good. I feel good about it, and I'm just thankful. Our whole family came out okay, and we're healthy.
That's amazing to hear. So we are excited about the sixth installment, Holly. I'm just like, okay, let's see what it's all about. So what I want to know is, what is Billy up to in this new installment series? That's what I really want to know.
So Billy is, she's coming off a little breakup.
Yeah.
Her man left her, went to LA, and and so a new I almost said a new sheriff is in town, but a new homicide detective is in town.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
his name is Tyrell Price, Detective Price, and he's serious, right? He doesn't eat carbs. He's body conscious. He's just kind of just rigid. I don't watch TV. He tells her, but she's a television morning show personality, so. Billy is just, sort of rethinking her life. She's coming off a breakup. And then she just makes a kind of gruesome discovery in a friend's basement. And she sort of kicks back into what she really likes to do, which is crime solving. She likes to solve these crimes. And whenever anything happens around her, she's really good at it. And people want to open up to her and talk to her because she has that kind of personality. So that's very helpful when you're trying to get clues and you're trying to get information from people. And so new characters, new energy. One of the characters that's there that is back is Karen Robinson, who plays Aunt Cassandra. And I
Yes.
love her so much because like just being around her is just so great. But everybody needs an Aunt Cassandra. Everybody needs that auntie that just tells you like it is, that just don't pull any punches, that loves you, is going to look out for you, but will cuss you out if she needs to.
Absolutely.
We all need that. And so I love that about Karen, and I love connecting with her again after doing 5 movies together and being back for the 6th. So new energy, new flavor, and new mystery to solve.
I'm excited about this new energy and this new flavor. So you've produced a few of your own projects lately, right? And I just want to kind of know, tell us a little bit about your experience stepping out of the actress role to more of the role of a producer, and what has that been like for you?
Yeah, I've always wanted to have a little bit more control of content beyond just standing in front of a camera and saying the lines.
Yeah.
And so I was really glad when Hallmark Channel said, yes, we want you to be involved creatively as well. So I was able to executive produce a couple of movies so far for them. And I'm working on my 3rd movie that I'm going to EP. And one I'm really proud of is called The Christmas Doctor, just because you get to be involved soup to nuts, right? You start with the concept what kind of content you want to bring.
Mhm.
And then you find a writer and you flesh out the script, and then you cast, and then you know, act. But when I come to the set, it's different. It's like, instead of just coming to the set and eating my breakfast and running in my dressing room and then doing my makeup and doing my lines and going to set, I'm looking at the whole thing, right? I'm looking at everything.
Yeah.
I'm checking on all the actors. I'm making sure that they're good. And I really like being able to do that. I'm a very nurturing person by nature. And so
Mhm.
I like to be able to make sure everything is going well. And it's been very gratifying. And then you just feel like you're more invested, right? From not just being on camera. And then also, you know, when it comes to casting, you have some say too. And I think that is something that I really wanted. It's one thing to be number one on the call sheet, but you know, who's at 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So
Yeah.
bringing people up and bringing people in these parts, um, going another way, you know, and being just extremely diverse and inclusive is a priority for sure.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So speaking of producer roles, tell us a little bit about what it was like working alongside Al Roker.
Well, Al Roker is, you know, he's America's sweetheart, and he's America's weatherman. We all love him, but Al, it can do anything. Like, it's amazing what Al can do. He can, you know, tell you the weather. He can,
For sure.
okay, he can cook you a dinner. Like, this man can throw down. Do you hear
Oh,
me?
wow.
He's so talented in the kitchen. And then he's a producer and writer. He wrote these movies. I'm sorry, he wrote the novels that
Yeah.
are the, you know, basically based on his novels, Morning Show Murders. And those novels were turned into this movie series, Morning Show Mysteries. And so he does just so much he can do. He's just a really great guy. I've known him for a very long time. Our families are friends, our kids are friends. And so to be able to work with him was really fun. Every movie he appears in a cameo. And
Good.
it's interesting because this last movie, the Morning Show Mysteries Murder Ever After, he wasn't able to come because of COVID, wasn't able to come to Canada where we shoot. Um,
Yeah.
he would have had to quarantine for 2 weeks and he couldn't leave the Today Show. So he came in through the telephone, and it was good. It was great to be able to see him. But that's a really fun little piece, that where are we going to see Al jump in as a cameo? But he's just an awesome guy. And I really enjoy working and collaborating with him.
That's amazing. So that led into my next question. How did the pandemic kind of impact like shooting this installment?
Well, this installment was shot in February.
Okay.
So we weren't quite at the height, but we were still really vigilant. But so it wasn't so difficult to shoot this one. But I will say the Christmas movie, The Christmas Doctor, that I EP'd,
Yes.
that was very hard because we had to shoot, this was in September, October of 2020. So full blown pandemic.
Yeah.
We were in Canada. There's so much protocol that we had to do. And Canada was, I say, handled COVID much better than we did. There wasn't all the politics involved and wearing masks. It was like, no, this is what you're going to do to get out of there. And we all on the same page, and let's stop tripping. So it was nice to be up there during that time. It was very grounding. But I had a quarantine 2 weeks, as I said, and real quarantine where you're not allowed to leave your property.
Wow.
And so you're in, and then you go to work, and everybody has to do so much protocol. And in that movie, I had to kiss a young man. And so what happened was we had to do so much protocol. You have to gargle with all these different potions, and then you have to spray your face with alcohol, some alcohol thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then every 10 minutes you have to do this. So it was really serious.
Wow.
And so when the movie came out and we were doing these, you know, romantic scenes, I called Adrian, the actor. I said, wow, we really made that look hot, because that was probably as unsexy as it gets. We smelled like peroxide and alcohol, rubbing alcohol. And yeah, so that was hard. It was hard, but there was something very unifying about making a film during that time, because we all had each other's backs.
Yeah.
So there was a nice sense of community and camaraderie.
That's amazing to hear. So as a Black woman who's had longevity, I would say, in the film industry, What is one thing within the industry that you've been mostly pleased with? And then one change that you'd like to see moving forward that we could kind of work towards?
Well, I am loving seeing these Black female directors. I am just so thrilled seeing my friend Regina King. We've known each other since the 80s.
Yes.
And we were both on TV in the late 80s when there were very few Black females in lead roles, right? She was on 227, I was on 21 Jump Street. So just
Yeah.
watching her career, watching other people's careers get the props and that they deserve and be able to expand themselves creatively, it's really gratifying to see that and to see them winning big awards and all of that. Where I really would like to see some change
Yes.
is in the C-suites, in the executive suites. We don't see enough CMOs, CFOs, network bosses,
Yeah.
casting agencies. Like we're still woefully inadequate in that area. We don't see ourselves represented at networks in green lighting positions when it comes to shows and some of the content that we see. I see some little strides being made, but mostly it all looks the same. So
Yeah.
that's where I would change. And I have been doing this a long time. And from, the 80s, when I look up to now, I really feel like we've come a long way, but there's just still some areas that we're just not allowed to, rooms we're not allowed to be in still. And that's weird. That doesn't make sense at this point.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. At Hollywood Melanin, we are all about just promoting actresses and actors of color. And so that's what our premise is of our network. So I'm glad that you said that, because we are all about just wanting to see us at every table, wanting to see us, in the film industry and increasing that going forward. I am just thankful to have this opportunity to talk to you. I'm amazed at the work. I am a school administrator in my other life. And I work with special education teachers. So I am amazed. Yes, I am amazed at the work that you do with autism. I work with teachers of autism every single day, and they're BCBA trained, and we are all about ABA training for parents as well as the families. I just love what you do, that you were in Jamaica recently promoting that work. We're just in esteem of you being a super producer, a super mom, an actress, a philanthropist, and an actor. We're just so thankful that you're still on the scene and doing your thing. And I've been a fan of you since Vanessa with Hanging with Mr. Cooper. So I know you.
Vanessa. My kids were binging that that's one of the things that they did. They're like, Mom, we're going to watch some of your work. I'm like, well, thank you. Hello. And they
look the same. You know that, right?
Well, I have good makeup and hair and a nice little Zoom lighting. But
just tell the viewers you woke up like this.
Yes, exactly. That's right. And I mean, some of that stuff still holds up. Their kids were watching Vanessa and they were going, what is wrong with her? I said, that's why she was fun to play, because she was ditzy and crazy. Right. And she was just a trip. But thank you so much for acknowledging me on the autism and the advocacy. Some of the most amazing people that I have met along the journey have been those teachers that you work with, those special ed, therapists. And I mean, they have been lifesavers and have been, I call them angels on the path, because the journey, especially when RG was young, was tough. And there weren't a whole lot of people like me out there, advocating, which was one of the reasons why I knew I had to, because I knew people with big platforms and celebrities that had kids on the spectrum, but didn't want to speak openly about it. And that's okay, because it's not for everybody to do that.
Yes.
However, I missed that. I didn't see that happening. And I would have loved to have been able to have some place to go, oh, look at her, look at their family. So that's one of the reasons why we did that. And we did reality shows, because we wanted to show our family and show what it's like to rally around a young man with autism, and certainly a young Black man with autism, because that's another set of issues, right? When autism, the intersectionality between autism and race is it's very deep. So tell all the teachers that you work with that I thank you for doing that. I wish I could clone them 20 times, because we need more people in that space.
I totally agree. Tell us where we can catch the morning show series, Murder Ever After. Can I get it right?
It's hard because it's a lot of M's.
Lots of M's, yes.
But you can catch Morning Show Mysteries, Murder Ever After, the 6th installment of Morning Show Mysteries Movie Wheel, on Sunday, May 23rd on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. So the Hallmark has 2 channels, or actually 3, but they have a channel, the Hallmark channel, and then they have Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, which features most of their movie wheels. So make sure you check your local listings, as they say. It'll be on 8, 7 Central, and I'll be tweeting live and doing clues along the way. It's going to be very interactive. And so thank you so much for having me and talking to me about this fun movie.
Absolutely. We'll be alongside you tweeting. We are sleuthers all the way.
Yes. Yes.
Take care.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
No, thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.